Bangladeshi teacher arrested for saying, quote, "There is no evidence in religion." On March 22nd, Hriday Chandra Mondal, a high school teacher in Bangladesh, was arrested by authorities for telling students that, quote, "religion is a matter of faith." Amnesty International managed to access an audio recording where Mondal is heard saying, quote, "There is no evidence in religion. Religion, in the end, says God will take care of everything. Religion offers memorized words, whereas science shows evidence," end quote. This recording was used to file a police report against him. 2 days later, he was arrested and charged with 2 counts of blasphemy-related offenses. Mondal's initial attempts for bail petition were rejected twice. Bangladesh's education minister, Dipu Moni, said Mondal's arrest is unfortunate and called for further investigation. Smriti Singh, Deputy Regional Director for South Asia at Amnesty International, called Mondal's detention a shameful sign of a disturbing trend in Bangladesh. After 19 days in prison, Mondal was released. So, this was a very interesting story, and there was a lot to get into here. One thing that I will say was positive about this news is that this incident seemed to have gotten a lot of really bold and stark condemnation from not only organizations like Amnesty International, but also a lot of Bangladeshi academics themselves, like openly coming out and saying, like, this is unacceptable. We need to have teachers and academics being able to have these discussions in the classroom and not have to worry about being filmed, not have to worry about being reported to the police. And yeah, Eric is saying he never said anything specifically blasphemous towards Islam or Hinduism. He merely said religion. But there are people saying that he, insulted Islam. So I want to read a little bit more of the quotes from him. So he argued that religion is a matter of faith, while science looks at evidence. And so there's a lot going on with this story. Before I dive in, Armin, do you have any immediate reactions?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the fact that you were saying, why would they even find this offensive? Because you thought that religious people will also say, yeah, it's not about evidence, it's about faith.
Oh, because we were talking about this earlier. Let me give the backstory. So I was talking to Armin about this earlier, and I was saying, like, from my ex-Christian perspective, I'd be like, it's very common to be like, yeah, you're right. This isn't a matter of evidence. This is about faith. Like, my family will say, like, this, like, because I argue from the basis of evidence. They're like, this isn't about evidence, this is about faith. But Armin had a very different reaction to that.
Yeah, I mean, the Bible, for example, says that why are you trying to understand things through reasoning when you just should have faith, right? So the Bible even says, like, I'm not quoting it exactly, but it has something related to that somewhere. But I was telling Susanna is because you're putting your Christian mindset on an Islamic environment, okay? Because that's not what we were told in Islam. In Islam, I mean, if you read the Quran, it constantly talks about evidence. Like, it's like, I think this is mostly a Christian thing. Like, I'm not saying all Christians, like, there are many Christians who say, like, no, we need evidence. We have evidence for Jesus, right? But there's also more within Christians that, it's more common within Christians for you to hear, we don't need evidence, we have faith. We don't need reason or evidence because we have faith. Like, this is another evidence and reason is one pathway to reality and truth, and faith is another, right? So it's separate. But I've never heard that from an Islamic. I mean, I'm sure if you look for it, you'll find it. And I'm sure some people might say, like, oh, no, I've heard a Muslim say that. But I think it's way less common, especially because the scripture itself, the Quran itself, relies on evidence, constantly claims that there is evidence. And even like Abraham, for example, even in it doubted God based on an Islamic understanding. And God was like, okay, go cut these birds into pieces and put them all over the place, and I will bring them back to life as evidence that that I could do stuff, right? And the Qurayshis were constantly challenging Muhammad, like, how could this be true? Like, give us evidence, like there is evidence. Like, y'all don't the Quran. Here's the thing: the meaning of how do you say Quranic verses? You see ayah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ayah means signs of God. I mean, the whole point of the Quran is
Oh.
that it's an evidence for the truthful, for the existence of God and for how Islam is true. So Islam is actually very focused on it being evidence. So from an Islamic perspective, saying there's no evidence for religion would be considered blasphemous. So that's a Christian mindset that would say like, oh, we don't need evidence, right?
Yeah.
Well, see, Bread of Life was a Christian in the live chat. She's saying, I have reasons for my faith.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
see,
Katie is saying, my Hindu family used to say we have enough evidence for religion. The evidences they provided weren't really great, but people here do care about anything they can give as evidence. I think
so
even go ahead.
no, I'm just saying like I wasn't. So Bread of Life was a Christian who's saying this. I'm not saying that all Christians say they don't need reason or evidence, right? But I'm just saying it's if there are religious people who say there's no reason, we don't need reason or evidence, they're more like it's more possible for them to be Christian than Muslim. I'm not saying all Christians are like that. I hope people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So well, there's a lot I wanted to talk about with this story.
Okay, wait. Somebody's correcting me, and I'm gonna correct them. Somebody's saying it's ayat, not ayah. Okay, I am Persian. Okay, so I am pronouncing it in Persian. Okay, so in Arabic, the a sometimes it sounds te, right? But in Persian, because we don't have those a at the end with the two dots at the top, a lot of the things that has te at the end when they become Persianized, they become just a. So it's ayah in Persian. Okay, we're going.
Well, as
Ayat
someone
or
who is
ayah.
learning Farsi, I have learned very quickly that we drop a lot of sounds, make everything shorter because you don't want the mouth to move that much. It's like,
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
anyways, so I was doing I kind of went down a wormhole with this news story. Like, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. So there are some people who say that, oh, well, this, the case against him was brought forth because of his supposed blasphemy or insult to religion. And there are probes that have gone forward about this saying, no, he hasn't insulted religion at all. And there are other probes that are being investigated into this and saying, no, he did, definitely. And when it came to his detention and how he was denied bail twice, reportedly the police were like, we kept him in detention for his own safety. Like, mobs went to his school, mobs were attacking his home where his family lives. Like, it was very tense and very dangerous. So they reportedly just kept him in custody for his own safety. Now, the other thing is that there was lots of reports that this was personally motivated. Like, they were using blasphemy as a vendetta against him. And he said that this is partially because he works at a school where a lot of teachers just don't bother to really discipline the children. And he's a strict teacher and he holds students to a certain standard. And so he's gotten a reputation for this. So it's like that could have been a motive. Another motive is that he apparently has a booming private tutoring business, and the other teachers are jealous of his private tutoring business because it's taking away from their own students that they could be getting this business out of because he's so good at what he does. Because there's details with the story about how teachers his fellow colleagues were involved in this blasphemy case against him. I think this is interesting because it's really unfortunate the way to which these religion is used to take out personal vendettas against people. And then it becomes, there's all this equivocating with people saying, oh, well, no, this isn't Islamic at all. This is just personal vendettas. Well, even so, like, this is, a case of people using Islam as a reason to go after someone, to go after his livelihood. The good news is he's out of jail. He's actually back in the classroom now, teaching again. It says he was charged with these blasphemy-related offenses. So that seems to me like there might be some still legal proceedings and court cases going forward. But I was really happy to see the extent to which there was a lot of really loud condemnation and support for him. And I hope that support
Because it's
will
not
continue.
Pakistan. Because I think this would be a lot worse if it was in Pakistan, wasn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
He would be dead. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. He would be on death row.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's
Maybe.
crazy. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like you're saying it was so good that he got so much support that people were
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
supporting him.
And so he was basically
Okay.
saying, I hope that the authorities continue to protect me because there are still threats against me. And I hope if he does have continuing legal ramifications that he continues to get support through that.
You want to read some of these comments? Oh.
Seth is asking, what are some good resources for learning Farsi independently? I haven't found too many. Well,
Rosetta Stone.
No, you can just watch YouTube videos. I'm watching Learn Persian with Majid. Great YouTube channel, and it's actually not that hard. And also have some friends that speak Farsi. If you don't have friends that speak Farsi, join the Atheist Republic Persian Discord, and you can make friends that speak Farsi and practice with them.
Yeah, and then you can watch my shows in Persian. We have an Atheist Republic Persian channel. So yeah, go learn it and come over there.
That's my main motivation for learning Farsi, because you have some juicy guys. Like, we can't even talk about how controversial Armin is getting with the Persian channel right now, and I want to be able to enjoy that content. Asian American is saying, Atheist Republic, seek knowledge unto even China, for surely the prophet, blessed be his name, spoke of Shia Confucianism and the joining of Ahl Bayt and Kunja. I'm hoping that we eventually convince everyone at Atheist Republic to join the most holy faith of Shia Confucianism. Atheist Republic needs your help. We've been the target of many legal attacks by Hindu nationalists ever since our founder, Armin Navabi, blasphemed against Hindu deities. We have retained legal counsel to help us defend our access to our community in India. We have started a fundraiser that will help us afford to tackle many legal issues, including judicial harassment and censorship. Whatever you can contribute will go a long ways in helping us in this fight. Link in the description below.